movie kind of gets unexpectedly wild at the end. Let's do it. Is about this teenage girl named Maggie who moves to this new town with her mom, Erica. It's not really new for Erica because we end up learning that she grew up here, she went to high school here. It's all new for Maggie, and she starts at a new high school. And immediately she is noticed by this boy, Andy. His friend group approaches Maggie and invites her to hang out with them. Now, in addition to Andy, the group consists of Haley, Chaz, and Darrell. The group gets in Andy's van, and obviously they're all underage, so they're sitting outside the liquor store trying to get somebody to go in and buy them alcohol. They're having no luck until Sue-Ann walks up. And she's like, I'll only do it if you're not drinking and driving. And Andy is like, I don't drink, I'm driving, we're just going to the rock pile to hang out. Sue-Ann buys them the alcohol and they go on their way, but she proceeds to call Andy's dad, Ben. She gives him an anonymous tip that your son and his friends are drinking down by the rock pile. Police officer shows up and is like, your dad told me to come down here, but your dad also fucking sucks, so I'm actually just gonna let you go. The group eventually meets up with Ma again outside the liquor store where she once again buys them alcohol. She's like, listen, I don't like the idea of you kids driving around. You obviously can't go back to the rock pile. Why don't you come to my house? I have a basement. So they go and everything seems somewhat normal until she straight up just pulls a fucking gun out on Chaz. She forces him to undress with it, and when he does, she reveals that it's a fake gun, and everybody laughs thinking it's hilarious. The group starts to call her Ma, and they keep going back to her basement for these parties, and it gets more and more popular, so more people start showing up. It's all fun and games until Sue-Ann starts getting really obsessive. We notice that Sue-Ann seems to inappropriately like Andy and be jealous of Maggie because Andy is dating Maggie. One day, this girl at school approaches Haley and Maggie asking if Ma would let me have my birthday party in her basement. They say yes and also compliment this girl's bracelet that she's wearing. At that party, Maggie takes a shot that Ma gives her and completely blacks out. And when she wakes up the next morning, she realizes that her earrings are gone. Ma also finds Maggie and Haley trying to go upstairs to find the bathroom at a party one night, and she literally throws them against the wall and forces them to go back downstairs. So Ma is just harassing them. She's texting them nonstop, trying to get them to come over. Maggie, who's really freaked out by this whole thing, tells Andy, I don't want to go back there, and I don't want you going back there either, and he agrees. Literally shows up to their school on a weekday and tries to get them to come party, and they're all like, yeah, I have homework in school tomorrow, I can't do that. When Ma realizes that she's losing them, she tells them all that she was diagnosed with cancer and needs some friends right now. This woman is a sick bitch. But as she's telling them that, Haley notices that she's wearing that bracelet that they complimented that other girl on. And Haley and Maggie both discover that they both have jewelry missing, so they know that Ma's been stealing their shit. So Haley and Maggie decide to break into Ma's house, where they find in her room she basically has a shrine of pictures of all of them, specifically Andy. On the back of a photo of Andy, they find a picture of his father, Ben. And they also discover this girl named Jeannie, who they recognize from school. At school, they've only seen her in a wheelchair, and she's not right now, and it turns out she's Ma's daughter. Sue-Ann eventually comes home, but Maggie and Haley are able to escape without her finding them. Now, Sue-Ann works at a vet, and one day Ben comes in and recognizes her because it turns out he and Sue-Ann went to school together. He tells Sue-Ann she looks great and asks if they can get drinks after, which she agrees. When she meets him out, he's like, I have a tracker on my son's car. Why is he spending so much time at your house, you weird bitch? He threatens her basically to stay away from my son. Now, at this point, we've learned that Ben and Sue-Ann also went to school with Maggie's mom, Erica, this really annoying woman, Mercedes, who is now dating Ben. And through flashbacks, this is actually really fucking awful. We learned that Ben and Mercedes played a prank on young Sue-Ann. She had a crush on Ben, and she thought that she was going into a closet to hook up with him. But when the lights turned on and she came out of the closet, she realized that she was hooking up with this random dude, and it was just a prank and a setup. This poor girl was fully SA'd, and it's fucking gross. Fuck these kids. Young Mercedes and Erica witnessed the whole thing as well. Ma has just never gotten past that humiliation and now realizes that Ben is still the same. So while Ma is driving home one day, she sees Mercedes running on the side of the road, and she just runs her over and kills her in a fit of rage. We see her lure Ben to her house by telling him a story that Andy's there. When he gets there, Ma knocks him out and ties him to her bed. So at the same time, we're seeing that Maggie and Erica's dog, Louie, who they take to the vet that Sue-Ann works at, just came home from the vet and he's bleeding. We cut to the vet office and see that the vet that Sue-Ann works for is dead. She killed her too. The reason that the dog Louie is bleeding is because Ma has a bag of his blood which she proceeds to transfuse into Ben's blood, calling him a dog, and she slashes his wrists and lets him bleed out. Now, at this point, Maggie has told her mom what they've all been up to with Sue-Ann, and she's pissed, but she also confronts Sue-Ann and is like, stay the fuck away from my kid, you weirdo. But despite all this, these fucking idiots have the survival instincts of a fucking shrimp, and they still go to Ma's house again to party. Maggie decides to go only when she gets a picture texted to her by Andy of them all at Ma's. And when Maggie gets there, she finds that the group has all been drugged and they're unconscious. Maggie runs upstairs where she finds Ben's lifeless body in Ma's room. Ma then shows up behind her and drugs her and knocks her out and drags her back down to the basement. When Maggie wakes up, she is chained by her throat, and this is when the torture begins. This is where it gets wild. She burns Chaz's stomach with an iron. She sews Haley's mouth shut. She paints Darrell's face white because she says, sorry, there can only be one of us. Now, Andy wakes up and tries to be like, Sue-Ann, I love you, don't do this, and kisses her, but she's like, I know you're lying, and stabs him in the stomach. Now, at this point, a police officer shows up upstairs because he saw all these cars and all this trash in Sue-Ann's yard. He hears Maggie screaming from the basement and tries to come in the house, and Ma shoots him and kills him. So Ma goes downstairs and makes Maggie help her pose all of her unconscious friends and take a photo of them. And then she hangs Maggie from the rafters. But Ma runs upstairs when she hears Jeannie calling out for her. But as she gets to the top of the stairs, Jeannie knocks her out and she falls and knocks over a candle and starts a fucking fire. Jeannie's had enough. This poor girl has been Munchausen by proxy with this crazy bitch. So the fire's blazing and everybody starts to wake up and fucking panic, obviously. Jeannie comes downstairs and stops Maggie from hanging to death and helps the others get out of their collars. Now, meanwhile, we see that Erica has realized that Maggie's gone and she knows there's probably only one place she can be, so she's on her way to Ma's. She gets there just in time to unlock the attic doors as they're all about to burn to death. All the kids run to get out, but then Ma comes to and grabs Jeannie and tries to drag her back into the fire. Now, she sees Erica in the basement and is like, you witnessed me being SA'd and you did fucking nothing. Which Erica is like, I regret it, I'm so sorry, that shouldn't have happened, but like, this is not okay. As she's distracted, Maggie manages to grab a knife and stab Sue-Ann and take Jeannie from her, and they escape. Now, the group all runs outside, they've all made it, and we see Ma walking upstairs. She lies next to Ben's dead body as the house crumbles around her, and the movie ends.